long hypothesized stock split is coming, Tesla is building a Dojo, we have word on the latest software update incoming, and more. This is Tesla Tidbits episode number 614 for August 17th, 2020. This show is sponsored by my supporter Richard. If you're in the market for a new Tesla, please consider using his referral code. Ask your salesperson to use code Richard174 or go direct to the web link ts.la/Richard174 and pick up a 1,000-mile supercharging credit for your new vehicle. The big news of the previous week is that after sitting at over $1,000 per share for some time, and hovering around the $1,500 per share mark for a good while recently here as well, Tesla has announced that it will be doing a split on its common stock. What this means for investors is that on August 28th, after closing, stock owners will be granted 4 additional shares of stock for each one they own, and the company will begin trading at a price 1/5 the previous price on the 31st of August. This is amazing news for those smaller investors that were priced out of owning Tesla when the stock went bonkers and shot up more than 5 times its worth over the last 9 months. At market close on Friday, Tesla was trading at $1,651.71 per share, so as an example, the stock would roughly trade at $330 per share after the split at that price. Many see this as a sign that the company is very confident in its current state, and going through the regulatory effort to do the split when it's not something they need to do is generally seen as a good thing. Full disclosure, I am a Tesla shareholder at this time, and I do intend to add to my position in the very near future. None of the preceding is trading advice, and if you're taking stock trading advice from me, you should probably not be in the stock market. Next up, courtesy of Elon's Twitter feed, is the confirmation of the long-rumored and speculated Tesla Dojo. This is something that's been going around for a long time, but only ever in speculation and wonder of what the project was for sure. Elon finally specifically identified the project last week on Twitter, and as we all had thought, it's something to do with autopilot, but exactly what it was is a bit more, I believe. From Elon's Twitter feed, he said, quote, Tesla is developing a neural network training computer called Dojo to process truly vast amounts of video data. It's a beast. Please consider joining our AI or computer/chip teams if this sounds interesting, end quote. Twitter user Everyday Astronaut replied asking, quote, when/what do you think will be the next big public release that shows a massive leap in autopilot full self-driving? I feel like when Navigate on Autopilot came out, that was a huge leap. Will there be another one like that soon? End quote. Elon responded to this then, saying, quote, the full self-driving improvement will come as a quantum leap because it's a fundamental architectural rewrite, not just an incremental tweak. I drive the bleeding edge alpha build in my car personally. Almost at 0 interventions between home and work. Limited public release in 6 to 10 weeks, end quote. You might wonder why I linked these, and the answer is because the latter is dependent on the former. With the autopilot rewrite coming, Elon has specifically talked about training the neural net with video rather than with pictures. This new neural net is the answer to the training for this new method. So to all of you folks at Tesla working on Dojo and autopilot, we're wishing you nothing but the best. Your success is the world's success, because the sooner we can get rid of human pilot, the better. Item 3 today comes courtesy of the folks at Teslascope. They have the latest on what software 2020.32.1 contains, which seems to be the new general release for the fleet. Probably the biggest news in the release is for those with air suspension. From the release notes, quote, you can now see a real-time visualization of how the suspension system is dynamically adjusting each wheel's damping to account for changing road conditions. Tap Show Suspension Data to get even more real-time information, end quote. Additionally, an advanced setting has been added to the ride comfort and handling to join the previous comfort, auto, and sport settings. There's a bunch more improvements as well, so check out the full list on the Teslascope site. Item 4 today is about a long elusive feature for our Tesla accounts. Those of us in the security community have long implored Tesla to enable multi-factor authentication for our Tesla accounts, given that other than bank, stock, or cryptocurrency accounts, having these credentials stolen could cost you the most money of any digital account you own. For those unaware, multi-factor authentication, or sometimes known as two-factor authentication, requires you to not only provide a username and password for an account, but an additional confirmation that you are the actual user of the account. This can be, but is not limited to, getting an extra prompt from an app on your phone to confirm you're logging in, having to provide a PIN from a rotating number, or receiving a text message with a one-time code. Elon, however, gave hope on Twitter that this long-requested, long-needed feature is finally imminent. Quote, "Sorry, this is embarrassingly late. Two-factor authentication via SMS or Authenticator app is going through final validation right now." End quote. I'll say this for sure, yes, this is indeed embarrassingly late. That's a charitable description of the situation. Nonetheless, it seems that at long last it will become an option for owners soon, if final validation means anything. As I tweeted, when this becomes available, I encourage all owners to immediately get this enabled to protect your account, and by extension, your car and anything in it. And if you've not already, please get a good password on your account as well. No, Princess 1 is not going to cut it. Preferably, get a password manager that can make you a random password of 20 or more characters that can just be autofilled by the manager. Failing that, create a phrase greater than 20 characters that is memorable and includes a special character of some sort. The longer a password, even if it's simple, the better, as simply guessing the password, even assisted by a computer, becomes near impossible when using special characters along with capital letters, lowercase letters, and numbers. This has been your security public announcement for the day. Lastly, a heads up of sorts on a mini review that I'll be doing on a pair of books. The folks writing He Said, She Said Tesla Model 3 User's Guide and its sibling He Said, She Said Tesla Model Y User's Guide reached out to me and provided copies of both books for me to have a look at. There's a lot of books on owning a Tesla or an EV out there, but these put a unique spin on it by having two folks give their takes in the same book. I'm looking forward to getting through them and giving you an assessment on if you'd enjoy them or not. Hope to have something for you before the month is out, but we'll see how my spare time treats me. And that'll do it for today's show. Thanks to all my patrons supporting the show at patreon.com/Tesla Tidbits. And as always, a special shout out to all the super patrons supporting the show at the $10 plus level. They are Ryan Scarborough, Lee Sweet, William Henry Crew III, Dory and Steve Guberman, Ralph and Cheryl Waterhouse, Todd Sullivan, Mitch Long, Zortec LED Canada, Morven Ogg, Raymond and Deborah Malkowitz, T Sportline, Vicky Kirk, Ricky Johnston, Nathan Garza, Ed Patterman, Sunil Joseph, Joy Rodriguez, and Brad Lettner. If you have feedback for me, the best way to be heard is to tweet at Tesla Tidbits and use the hashtag AskTeslaTidbits if you'd like your question to be considered for the show. Until next time, keep it charged and hit the road.